Chapter 20. Sharon. Ms. Graham keeps the three of us in at recess. Me, Kai, and Emily. Cecilia is absent. She tells us how disappointed she is that we took such a risk. I try to look Ms. Graham in the eyes, but I cannot, because this was my idea. Kaylee. Dear Ms. Graham, wow, Emily and her team got themselves into major trouble. Ms. Graham, are you stressed out by the whole thing? You seem stressed out for sure. It's not your fault that your students did something so dumb. I think you should give them an F. They deserve that. Our presentation, on the other hand, will be stellar. It turns out that Blake Benson is a whiz with the computer. We're going to do a PowerPoint instead of a poster, and he thinks he can embed all these super cool videos into the PowerPoint. He has no clue he's my secret project. Our research and presentation are both going to rock, but we're not exactly sure what we're going to actually do to make a difference. Aviva wants to tutor little kids, and I'm doing this experiment for Blake, but I can't tell anyone about that. Our team is meeting at my house on Wednesday. I might ask Blake to stay longer, since his mom works late and I can use the help. This will be the best presentation ever. Can't wait to work on it this Wednesday. Today's activity and prompt: friendship. Our peers can influence us in both positive or negative ways. We will begin with a discussion about the meaning of friendship and the qualities we seek in our friends. Today's assignment is to draw or define friendship. Emily. Status. Slight unhappy face. Dear Hope. Friend. Someone who cares about you. Someone who stands up for you when she hears someone else say something mean. Someone who's there for you no matter what. Someone who makes you feel good about yourself. Ms. Graham gave us 15 minutes to write and draw. And then she said softly, now I want you all to think about your own friends. Does the definition you wrote describe your own friends? And does it describe the kind of friend you are to other people? The room got quiet all of a sudden. I realized that I've still been thinking of Aviva as a friend, which may be ridiculous because that does not describe her. She's turned into a flimsy kite that gets blown in whichever direction the wind is going. So if the people I thought were friends don't meet my own definition of friends, what does that mean? That I have no real friends? Or that my definition is wrong? Sharon, Kai, and Cecilia seem more like friends than the girls I considered my closest friends for most of elementary school. Although we clearly made a stupid choice together, so what does that say about us? Are we bad influences on each other? Feeling lonely, Emily. P.S. Ms. Graham stopped us again. She said we get to decide what kind of friend we want to be to other people. And we get to choose who to be friends with, too. Aviva, date, December 11th. That whole friendship discussion felt like it was directed at me. I've been a rotten friend. So today I asked Baloney Betty, our lunch lady, if I could get a list of ingredients for the school pizza. She looked at me kind of funny, but she ripped off a part of the box they come in. Then I brought it to Emily. I almost couldn't watch while she read it. All I saw on her face was confusion. So I explained that there is no meat in the school pizza. But Kaylee lied, and I thought it was a mean trick. I said I was sorry, and I should have told her a long time ago that I'm no good at speaking up. Emily stared at her feet and nodded. But then she looked up at me and added, but I can tell you're trying. Thank you. Then her voice got all shaky, and she said that just because we're going to be at different schools next year, that doesn't mean we can't be friends. My throat closed up so fast that I could barely whisper, I know, without crying. I swallowed a couple of times, and then I told her how I was really worried about her this weekend, and how glad I am that she's okay, and that I know I haven't been a very good friend to her. It was really scary to tell Emily the truth. I worried she might get mad, but I said it anyway. Blake. Friendship. It's just drawing, so you guys have to look up. Henry. Scene. Classroom. Everyone working quietly. Henry. Softly. So, Kaylee, am I your friend? Kaylee. I like quiet friends. You are not quiet. Henry laughs. That was funny. Kaylee ignores laughter. Like Aviva. See how quiet she is? Aviva quietly holding Kermit as if to make Kaylee's point. Henry. Blake's pretty quiet. Kaylee. Blake's growing on me. You're my friend, Blake. Blake. Okay. Kaylee. I'll tell you what, Henry. If you can be quiet for the next 30 minutes, I'll be your friend. Henry, that was funny. You're learning, Kaylee. I'm teaching you well. Kaylee, I'm not teasing. I'm serious. 30 minutes, silence. Henry, I can do it. Just wait. You'll be begging me to talk in about 5 minutes. Kaylee, you're talking. No talking. Silence. Henry tries not to answer. Kai, to the frog. Apparently, friends disappear. Cecilia hasn't been in school at all this week. I don't have her phone number. It's not on the class list. Maybe they don't own a phone? I don't know where she lives. What can I do? Dear esteemed students, the secret of a true friendship is to find a way to repair the relationship when something goes wrong. Forgiveness is a part of friendship. This also includes forgiving yourself. Please do not forget about your mailboxes. It just takes one person to begin the process of repairing. If you're waiting for someone else to do it, you may wind up waiting forever. Sincerely, Ms. Graham. Dear Ms. Graham, we are so very sorry about what happened. We didn't mean to break your trust or the trust of anyone else. From Emily, Sharon, and Kai. Dear Emily, Sharon, and Kai, life is about learning. Sometimes we do our best learning from our deepest mistakes. I'm not angry. I'm just glad you are all okay. With warm regards, Ms. Graham. Dear Emily, I will try to be a better friend to you. From Aviva. Sharon. Our table group slunk back from lunch to find a sticky note in the center of each desk. Mine read, "Today is a new day. Start fresh." Emily's was, "Look, listen, learn." And on Kai's, she'd written, "Breathe." Cecilia had one too. "Missed you today," was all it said. Chapter 21. Emily. Status. Surprised. Dear Hope, Mum's cell phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Mum was painting in the studio, so I peeked at the text message. From Mrs. Barrett. Requesting all B5 parents come to our house tonight at 5 p.m. to discuss serious concerns about our children's learning environment. Parents only. My heart sank to my toes. Ms. Graham! I massively screwed up by telling the police that we'd gone to the shelter for an assignment. Now there was going to be trouble, and all because of my big mouth. Ms. Graham did not assign us to sneak out overnight. That was all us. I had to do something. I had to go to Mrs. Barrett's meeting too. But Mum and I are trying to rebuild trust. And since she's been making this huge effort to talk to me, put her work away, sit down for dinner, that kind of thing, lying to her did not seem wise. So I tiptoed into her studio, eyed the paint splattered all over her arms, and told her the Barretts were hosting a meeting, that it was about Ms. Graham, and I thought we should go. I did not mention parents only, but I didn't lie either. Her brow furrowed like she was concerned, and she said, "Yes, we should go. I feel like I'm heading into battle. This can only mean trouble. In desperate need of love and luck, Emily." Henry. Scene. Kaylee's house for the big teacher roasting. Henry is waiting outside. Emily walking up with her mum. "Go on in, Mum. I'll stay and talk to Henry." Tries to smile but looks worried. Emily. "What are you doing here?" Henry. Counting the ants on the sidewalk. Waiting for my mom. Thinking of ways to get rich and famous. What are you doing here? Emily. I've got to hear what the parents are saying. This is all my fault. Henry. Don't blame yourself. It's more like 75% your fault. 25% goes to these parents. They need a hobby. Emily. Gee, thanks. That's really comforting. I'm gonna sneak in. Wanna come? Henry. Sure. That's gotta be more fun than counting ants on the sidewalk. Henry and Emily slip in through the front door and sit on the stairs in the hallway, not able to see who is talking. Parent number 1. We're sending our children to school to learn English and math, not sneak into homeless shelters or be the subjects of social experiments. Parent number 2. How long has she been teaching anyway? Parent number 3. Does it do any harm if she teaches them about social issues? As long as she gets the math and the English in there too? Parent number 4. It's not really her fault if some of the students took this project into their own hands. Parent number 1. Social issues and values should be taught at home, not at school. Parent number 3. Well, what do you propose we do? Parent number 2. Lodge a formal complaint with the school board? Henry whispers. Okay, maybe it's 90% your fault. Kaylee winds her way down the stairs and whispers, What are you guys doing here? Henry. Training to become professional spies. Kaylee. Come up to my room so they don't hear you. Henry pads upstairs. Emily's corrupting me. Kaylee, this is all your fault, you know, points her finger at Emily. Emily, with an amazing amount of venom for someone who seems so sweet. Who are you to talk? Henry looks for an escape route. Kaylee, dear Ms. Graham, Emily thinks she's such hot stuff, barging into my house and dragging Henry along. Once I got her in my room, she started asking me why I told her the cheese pizza had meat in the sauce. Can't she take a joke? She acts like it's this huge deal. Please. And then she was all, we used to be friends, and I don't understand, and what's going on? All I can say is that girl needs to take a chill pill. But then out of nowhere, Henry started tap dancing. I swear, tap dancing. Like with an imaginary cane and hat. Emily and I just stared at each other. That boy can't be serious for a second. And then Henry was all, ladies, let's put aside our petty differences. We've got to save our teacher from the witch hunt. Which he tried to say with an English accent. But he had a point. I've seen my parents do this kind of thing before, and there's one thing I know for sure. This is not gonna end well for you, Miss Graham. Henry can tap dance all he wants, but I don't think there's anything we kids can do to help you. Henry said I should tell my parents how great you really are. But here's the thing. In my family, it doesn't matter what I want. It only matters what my parents want, because they'll push and push until it happens. It's just like the river by our vacation house. From the shore, it looks all gentle, like the water's hardly moving. But once I'm in, I can't swim against it no matter how hard I try. The current keeps pushing me forward. That's the way it is with my parents. It's easier to go along with the flow than it is to fight against it. Sometimes I try to convince myself that I agree just so I won't have to disagree. There's no point in swimming against the current. I won't get anywhere. It's better to just hang on for the ride. Kai, to the frog. My dad went to that big meeting at the Barrettes last night. He left our house pumped up, but came back dragging. He said the parents are on a witch hunt and that he tried to be a voice of reason. He told them that it was our idea, not Miss Graham's, and that we need to take responsibility for our choices. But nobody listened to him, even though he's a professor and knows what he's talking about. What if they fire Miss Graham over this? And Cecilia has disappeared completely. I wish we'd never tried to go to the shelter. It was a huge mistake. I'm so mad at Sharon I can hardly look at her. She always thinks she knows everything, but clearly she doesn't. At lunch, she tried to tell me about a new idea she has to fix things. I backed away from her and yelled, I'm done! I don't want any more of your ideas! I hurt her feelings. Bad. Her face crumpled, and then I wished I hadn't said all that, because of course, it's my fault too. Blake. Remember, you need to look. It's a comic for Blake, and there's no words. Uh-oh. Dear parents of room B5, here at White Oak Elementary School, the safety and education of our students is our top priority. I am writing to notify you all that Ms. Graham has been placed on administrative leave, effective December 15th. After winter break, the district office will begin conducting an investigation, the results of which will be discussed at an upcoming school board meeting. Subsequently, the board will determine any disciplinary action. Rest assured, we will work on resolving this issue as quickly as possible and getting a permanent teacher back into room B5. Striving toward academic excellence, Principal Severns. Emily. Status. Frustrated and sad. Dear Hope, I can't believe it. I feel like the school walls have crumbled in around me. Looking around the room, I think my whole table group is feeling the same way. All the other students hate us too. They know it was us that screwed up, not Miss Graham. No matter who we tell, the grown-ups won't listen to us. Sharon, Kai, and I went to Principal Severns, but she told us this was something the adults would handle. OMG, I'm about to rip my hair out. And Cecilia hasn't come back to school yet. Where is she? There's an old picture book called Harold and the Purple Crayon. The kid walks around all over the place drawing things. It's like he's making up his own life story as he goes. If he's falling, he draws a parachute. If he hits an obstacle, he draws an escape route. Too bad life's not really like that, because right now, I need a purple crayon. Feeling frustrated. Emily. Blake. Again, no words, you gotta look. Kaylee. Dear Ms. Graham, my mother says you're in hot water. She says you're on administrative leave, and that's why you haven't been back in school. We've got a sub, Ms. Millbrook. She wears these big flowery dresses that hide her feet, so she looks like she's gliding along the floor like a giant float in a parade or something. She hands out worksheets all day so she can just sit there and play on her phone. And she's totally freaked out by Kermit. We've had to explain to her like 1,000 times that we're allowed to take Kermit out of his tank. It's like she thinks it's her classroom or something. My mom keeps talking on the phone and forgetting I can hear. This is the first time she's gotten a teacher placed on administrative leave. She's excited about it, I think. Usually when she's excited, it sort of trickles down to me and I get excited too. This time, I feel sad and angry. I'm not alone though. Everyone is upset. Most kids are mad at Emily's group. They totally screwed everything up. They're the ones who should be placed on administrative leave. Nobody's even doing their class jobs anymore. But if they were, I'd vote to kick them off class council. Aviva. Date, December 18th. Not only am I losing my teacher, but Ms. Milbrook is a complete imbecile with a frog phobia. And Cecilia hasn't been back to school. Ms. Graham always said, anyone can make a difference. But guess what? I think she's wrong. There's nothing I can do right now that will help this situation. I asked Ms. Milbrook if I could take Kermit home for winter break. She got this surprised look on her face like she hadn't even thought about Kermit. I bet if I hadn't suggested it, she'd have left Kermit alone in his tank for 2 whole weeks, and we'd come back to find him starved to death. Yikes! The first night of Hanukkah is tomorrow, but the world feels too dark for my candles to make much of a difference. Although maybe we could all use a miracle. Kai. To the freaking frog. Everyone's in pieces about Ms. Graham. Me too. But at least we know where Ms. Graham is. She's at home. Where is Cecilia? Where is she? Why is no one out searching for her? I tried to ask Miss Tildy in the front office, but she wouldn't tell me anything. She just said she couldn't share any information about another student due to confidentiality. I wanted to shake her and say, yeah, but where is she? I feel like I'm trying to yell, but no one can hear me. Hello? A student is missing! That sticky note from Ms. Graham is still stuck to her desk, taunting me with missed you today. I got so mad I wrote underneath, where are you? Real life is too hard. We're about to start winter break. It's almost Christmas, and I'm not even excited. I still don't feel like reading. Jeez, this has been the worst month of my entire life. Cecilia. Hola, abuelita. At night, when I miss you the most, that's when my worries come. And nightmares of being separated from Mami leave me tossing and turning. But thank you, abuelita, for your kind words to Mami. I could tell it made her feel better to hear, no hay mal que por bien no venga. I doubt anything good could possibly come from this, but I'll try to be patient. Thank you for talking to Mami about moving on and getting me back into soccer. I really miss it. There isn't a lunchtime game at my new school. I like your idea of finding a different after-school team, something near our new apartment. At least that would give me something to look forward to. Feliz Navidad, abuelita. Hopefully things will be better in the new year. Words to practice. Nightmares. Pesadillas. Besos y abrazos, Cecilia.